Hi, my name's David Jones. I'm Managing Director of Evans Jones Limited, and I'm here to take the SoGlos 10-question challenge. Evans Jones Limited is a multidisciplinary practice providing planning, project management, building consultancy and disabled access consultancy services from our head office in Cheltenham, but also from Reading and London offices. Congratulations on Evans Jones' 50th anniversary year. What advice would you give to your younger self when you joined the business 31 years ago? That's an interesting question. I have a 26-year-old daughter who I'm trying to impart my knowledge and advice. She's ignoring me completely. But the advice I give her, which is from my own sort of reference points, is probably there's no stupid question, and be brave and take risks. You've just rebranded Evans Jones. What's been the catalyst for this? We last rebranded in the mid-90s. The company has seen significant growth and expansion during that period. So this rebranding is about building on that growth. And part of our growth strategy is to further expand into Thames Valley, M4 corridor to London. So the time felt right at the start of that sort of expansion programme to look at our brand and make sure it was appropriate for now and allowed us to build on the sort of firm foundations we've built over the last 50 years. Does the new brand mean a new focus for the business? Not necessarily. I think it's about building on a sort of existing brand focus, but making it fit for purpose. So our new brand is a lot softer, a lot more modern, perhaps more attractive to millennials, Gen Zs, and feels a much nicer proposition, and will work better in the medium where it has to work these days. So most of that is social media, PCs, computers, rather than in the mid-90s when we last rebranded. It was paper, plans, printing, photocopying. So it has to serve a very different purpose. Question 4, how has the pandemic most impacted on your sector? I mean, the sector has survived the pandemic reasonably well, but there are certainly changes. We're seeing from government the mantra of build, build, build and build back better, and we are seeing the government bring forward policies to help the development industry and particularly help town centres, something I'm passionate about. How do we repurpose our town centres? The pandemic has really condensed what probably would have, or what definitely would have happened within the next 4 or 5 years into a 12-month period. Question 5, what do you think the business's main challenges will be for the year to come? A constant challenge for the business is recruitment and creating an environment where staff are attracted to and wish to stay. We've embarked on a recruitment campaign as part of our expansion plans over the past few months, and within the last 6 weeks have had 3 new starters. So we've been very successful in attracting new people. It's now learning from what has happened and how we've experienced business over the last 12 months and taking the best of those aspects and taking them forward. There's so much development going on across Gloucestershire. What do you think the county will look like in 10 years? Well, I've alluded to it a little bit with the high street. There are a lot of empty units. That is something which we will see change on. As a practice, we're advising on some of those town centre projects. They're schemes that will bring people into the town centre, and I'm a great believer if you bring people into the town centre, they will spend and they will help to regenerate. There's more to it than that, and every aspect of the town centre has to change, from the landlord's attitude, business rates, retailers' attitudes, shoppers' attitudes, opening hours, and how we use our town centres. So I think over the next 10 years, that's a major difference that we will see across the county, but across the country actually. Aside from that, Cheltenham Borough Council and their partners have been a very brave authority actually during the pandemic, investing in Cyber Central, the 42 hectares of development land around GCHQ. So, I'm hopeful that we will see, within that 10-year period, that starting to come to fruition, and, generating and building upon the sort of cyber businesses that we have within the county already. What projects am I most excited about working on? Within the last 18 months or so, I've been working on the New Cheltenham secondary school at Leckhampton. That's now in its build phase, but personally, that makes me really proud to help as part of a large team bring forward a 900 pupil secondary school within the county. One of the first new schools built at the secondary level, probably since the 60s. Aside from that, it's also zero carbon, so it's addressing the climate change emergency, and it as I say, makes me feel very proud that part of what I've done in that process in bringing forward the planning consent for the scheme will provide a lasting legacy for 900 children being taught over the next, who knows, 100 years. So, talking about leaving something lasting, that's something that does sit well with me. What do I most like about my job? I think as part of my role, I speak to lots of clients and advise lots of clients, and you become their trusted advisor and, in many instances, friend. And I love that aspect of the job. Being able to bring my experience to assist clients and give them the best possible strategic advice. What do you enjoy doing when you're not working? For me, I find cycling a massive stress buster. So when we live in a gorgeous part of the country where we have the Cotswolds or Malvern Hills or Forest of Dean on our doorstep. And the final one, question 10, what's the one thing you could not live without? And I think during the pandemic, that's really taught me that friends are really important, and social interaction is really important, and fun and laughter is really important.